Yeah, you had Jakes that had Hellenized versions of their particular names or a Romanized version of their names, such as this guy Josephus. All right, his name is Joseph, man. Yo, yo, what? Man, tongue twister right now. Yes, so y'all, so what? Yo, man.
Hey, brother, don't
In
worry
my
about
mind
it,
is
man.
right, but I can't say it right now.
brother,
Yo,
don't
yo,
worry.
damn. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? There we go. Yo, what's
Y'all
up?
what's up?
There we go. Joseph. All right, so you had Jakes that were, Romanizing their names, Hellenizing their names. All right. That's how come you got names like, like the elder was going into Marcus and these different types of names. All right, that they were known by, man. All right, and they weren't going by. You had them that was dishing their Hebrew names, man. Oh, Jason, that's the name. Jason. All right. When you look up Jason, that was one of them Hellenized names for Joshua, man. All right.
Yeah, what's up? Same thing?
Well, no, Yahusap is Joseph, and then,
Okay.
and you had Jakes that with the name Joshua. All right. They were changing their names to Jason, man.
Joshua, Jason.
All right. So they was down with that Hellenization shit, man. Adopting these different particular Greek names for their versions, man. All right.
Yeah, right here. Let me go to it. This is Acts 6 and 4. It says, "But we will give ourselves continually to prayer and to the ministry of the word, and the saying please the whole multitude. And they chose Stephen, all right, a man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit, and Philip, and Prochorus, and Nicanor, and Timon." I mean, come on, these are these are Greek names, man. But they were Israelites. They were the Jews. All right, so
And the word Stephen is where you get the name Nazar Khud. That's where I got my name from. Which means crown, or crowned one. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, they knew.
James is Yaquab.
Yeah, James. Yep.
Back in Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noise abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in their own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, "Behold, are not all these which speak Galilean? And now hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born."
can I bring something out right quick? Yeah, this is definition of a Hellenist, since we're going into it. Hellenist, it says a person living in Hellenistic times who was Greek in language, like the brothers reading, how we hear every man in our own tongue. All right? He was only Greek in language. He wasn't an actual Greek, like the so-called, like the white Greeks. All right? It says a person living in Hellenistic times who was Greek in language, outlook, and way of life, but was not Greek in ancestry. All right, so the Hellenists were Greek in language, and they was following after the Greek thing, but that wasn't their ancestry. Okay, especially a Hellenized. It says a Hellenized Jew, a specialist in language and culture of ancient Greece. All right, so you had Jakes living in Greece that didn't know they were the Jews, following after the Greek custom, but then you had Jews that were living in Greece that knew they were Jews. They were just living in Greece. All right?
The Septuagint.
Yep.
The Septuagint, right, which Septuagint means 70, was what? It was a Greek translation of the Old Testament, all right? Because you had when you had this guy Ptolemy ruling over Egypt, all right? You had Alexandria, Egypt, all right? Was one of the most flourishing particular places back then. All right. Well, why is that? Because it said the population, the Jewish population in Alexandria, Egypt, was 70%, man.
Yeah, the Hellenistas knew that. The Hellenistas knew they were the Jews living in Greece, and the Hellenists, which is Jakes, that didn't know that they were the Jews. They were following after the Greek customs. No, yeah, brother, you know.
In Alexandria, Egypt, all right. Why Ptolemy had his library, all right. The Library of Alexandria, which had over 100,000 different scripts, man, all right. And the Spirit got a certain men, all right, and moved the mind of Ptolemy to say what? Convert the Old Testament, okay, into Greek, man. And guess what? You had certain Israelites that didn't speak Hebrew, man, that just grew up in Alexandria, Egypt, and they didn't know how to convert speak the Hebrew tongue, man. So when the Spirit got on the 70 to turn the Old Testament into Greek, create the Septuagint, you had a lot of Jakes coming back, man. Matter of fact, you even had Greek plays. All right, when you look it up in the history, they had Greek plays because they had the theater back then that were recreating us getting delivered out of Egypt, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was straight Greek tongue and everything.
No, I'm just looking it up. That's all.
It says back in Acts 2 and 7, and they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, "Behold."
You can break it down.
Con.
Matter of fact, read it from the top again.
Acts chapter 2, verse 7. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, "Behold, are not all these which speak Galilean? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born? Parthians and Medes
Yep.
and Elamites."
Yes, and they were coming from all over the world, man. You know? They were coming all over, man. They were coming all over from that area, the known world at that particular time, all right?
It says Parthians and Medes and Elamites and dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and Cappadocia and Pontus
Turkey, go ahead,
and Asia.
and Asia.
During what was it? The Persian Empire said that they had over 127 provinces, right? And when you read the book of Esther, all right,
My bad.
when you go into the book of Esther, that particular decree that Mordecai had sent out got sent to 100, all of them. Meaning what? That Jews was in all these 127 different provinces, man. All right. It says Pyrrhia and Pamphylia in Egypt and in parts of Libya, about Cyrene and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes. Proselyte is this newcomer, a stranger, a proselyte, one who has come over from a Gentile religion to Judaism. That's how they write it, but it pretty much means like us, man. We were proselytes, right? We weren't born calling ourselves Hebrew Israelites of the tribe of this, that, and third, right? We were raised calling ourselves maybe American, Trinidadian, all right? Whatever, Puerto Rican, Mexican, all right? It's the same thing, okay? Now we all know that what? We're Hebrew Israelites, man. All right, so we're the converts. It says, and they were all Cretes and Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongues, the wonderful works of the Most High. And they were all amazed and were in doubt, saying one to another, "What meaneth this?" Others mocking said, "These men are full of new wine." But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them, "Ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you, and hearken to my words. For these are not drunken, as ye suppose, seeing it is but the third hour of the day." It's about roughly 9 a.m.
Right.
Third hour is 9, the 6th hour is 12, and then the 6th hour is 12, and the 12th hour is 3 p.m. It says, but this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, said the Most High, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams, and on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. All right? And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath. Let's start to go with something else.
Did y'all read 6 and 1 yet? Acts?
Oh, no. Oh, bro, it's a spiritual said that. I'm going to read it. You want me to read it?
Well, I got it. I'll read it. You want it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Acts 6 and 1. It says, and in those days when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians.
All right. Now, that's a beautiful point, because what I wanted to prove was the apostles. Okay, the apostles was going into this that when you go to was it Bible Hub? When you go to Bible Hub, they'll have all these different translations of the Greek, right? And now this is from the Net Bible. It says, now in those days when the disciples were growing in number, this is the same Acts 6 and 1, a complaint rose on the part of the Greek-speaking Jews against the native Arabic Jews, Hebrew Jews, because their widows were being overlooked in the daily distribution of food. So, again, you use the sermon, but when you go to the Bible Hub, all right, with all them different, because sometimes they'll do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes